Hey everybody, it's me Marquita. It's me Marquita. And I'm laughing because I was just on Facebook looking and it was saying, okay, so Boys and Man. And it was like Michael used to overshare and they was like, cause Michael, got that voice. He it's very smoky, very smooth. And I'm laughing because, see, the phone be tripping. Phone, I am talking to you. Stay out of my business. Now let me go back to the video. Okay, so me and Gary literally last night. So Today is Tuesday, May the 26th. So it's probably literally this morning because it was like midnight or 1 o'clock that we were talking. And I was saying something about like, oh, I love Boyz II Men and all that. And Gary was like, okay. Now, if you had to pick between Boyz II Men and Backstreet Boys, who would you play? Who would you pick? Then he's like, I know who you'll pick. You pick Backstreet Boys every time. I said, whoa, nay. I said, it depends what song and when. And I said, no, not even what. I was like, no, not even what song. Like, it depends what age you're asking me. Who am I going to pick? And he was like, you're going to pick the Backstreet Boys. And I'm like, no, what age? And so he was like, as a kid. I'm like, as a kid, yes, I would pick Backstreet Boys. I was like, but that's just because in the 90s, I didn't understand. I was like, but as an adult, I would pick Boyz II Men because I now understand the lyrics. As a kid, I didn't understand the lyrics. And he was like, okay, if Boyz II Men and Backstreet Boys came to Knoxville, which on the same day at the same time, which concert would you go to? And I'm like right now, my age right now. And he was like, yeah. I was like, it depends. And he goes, depends on what? He's like, it's your age right now. And I'm like, okay. I was like, it will probably be Backstreet Boys. Only because of Michael. I was like, if Michael comes with Sean, Eric, and Yang, then of course it's Boyz II Men. But if he's not in concert with them, I'm not going because he was a part of the band. And I was like, and I hope he's still living. Hope he didn't go into glory. And I was like, because look, love them down boots. Was a big fan. Grew up like I was a 90s kid. So this is where I'm coming back. And like it was, as a kid, we didn't know that Michael needed that cane. All we knew was, oh, he got that deep, smoky, smooth voice, and he walking with a cane. Look at Kumo D. Look at old Cat Daddy. Back in the days, I didn't know the word Cat Daddy, but now me, oh my gosh, look at him, XYZ. I did not know it till later on when I was an adult, maybe about 20 if I can remember, that I watched VH1 Behind the Music, and they was talking about Boyz II Men, and they were saying that the reason why like Michael left the group was because he had MS. I didn't know he had MS. And the reason why he was walking with a cane is because it was getting to the point to where he needed the cane. And And then, like, at the height of their career, they were about to start internationally touring, and he decided to leave so that he would not hold them back, because his health was getting to the point to where traveling was not going to be easy. And like, it was like his MS was slowly getting worse. So he left the group so that they could go international. And I said, me current day, they didn't need to go international. They didn't. Because I love Snow. Love Snow. Only know Informer. I don't know if he sings any other songs. But he also didn't get to go international because he wasn't allowed to leave Canada. But that one hit wonder, I still love it. I still love that song. I can't tell you any other song by him. And if he did get in, and if he did eventually get to go international, I don't know. I only know him for that once. I was about to say, for that one Snow. Did y'all hear me? For that one song. So, I was saying, they didn't need to go international because they were very popular. Like, Boyz II Men to me was, I love Boyz II Men. I did. And that was my answer. And I was like, but if the Backstreet Boys come, all 5 of them have to come. The 5 that I know. I did not learn until December, I do believe, that there was 2 other Backstreet Boys, sort of like Old Town. Okay, see, now I'm going down the rabbit hole. Damn you, Phil, or not Phil, Lou Pearlman. Sorry, Lou Pearlman. My bad. Rest in peace. Because he be switching up some people. And I don't know if, like, basically, I know that Old Town and Backstreet Boys was not the only 2 bands that he was over that did it. It's just the 2 that I know about. And one was personal. Not really. I took it personal. So what I mean is, I found out just like December of 25. Been loving the Backstreet Boys since 1997. So I'm old. I'm an old fan. Didn't know that they was before 97 because I was introduced to them in 97. Anyhow, so I didn't know that there was 2 different members of Backstreet Boys, and I think it was I want to say it was AJ, Howie, and Brian. They were like the original 3. And then it was like 2 other guys. And then the 2 other guys got switched out and brought in Nick. And then brought in Kevin, because they were like the super cousins is what made the band. And the freaking frack, if y'all don't know, Brian and Nick was considered freaking frack, and they were like the 2 youngest, I do believe. Yeah, see, Kevin, I know, is the oldest. Yeah, I think it's Kevin, AJ, Howie, Brian, Nick. I think that's in the age range. I know Kevin is the oldest, and I know Nick is the youngest. I can't remember between. I know their birthday. See, Nick is January the 31st, I do believe. Brian is February the 20th. Howie is August. I done forgot. AJ is, I think, July. And Kevin is October. Yeah, if I can remember. But Brian was my favorite, so I know he's February the 20th. But anyways. So, the super twins is Brian and Kevin, and freaking frack is Brian and Nick. But anyways, so, but I didn't know that there was two other guys. Now, let me bring it back to why I'm mad at Lou. Because, guys, this is not nothing new. Because I will always be a fan of the Ikaikas. I will always be a fan of Ikaika. I literally named my stuffed animal Ikaika. Literally. And I still have Ikaika. And my teddy bear is 26 years old. And I love her down dearly. My Ikaika's a girl. The original Ikaika that I got the name from is a man. And he had to leave O-Town right when because, okay, if y'all don't know what O-Town is, making a band. Not the band, not D-A, T-H-E, the band. And I know you'll be like, what? You just said that. Yeah, but I needed to say making T-H-E, the band. Not making the D-A band. So, the difference between that is T-H-E, the band, is Lou Feldman, which is I'm going to say discovered, but anyway, he was the discovery of Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, NSYNC. I don't know if he knew Five. O-Town. There was a couple of other bands. LFO, I do believe. I'm not for sure. Fell in love with the girl on TV. Sorry, I love that song. Ooh, wishing on you found this star. Wonder where you are. Do I ever cross your mind and want some time? She's from City of Angels, which was about Jennifer Love Hewitt. Okay, let me stop. Okay. So, I was mad because making the THE band was Lou. Making the DA band was Diddy. So, that's why I say making the THE band is Lou. And I was there from episode 1 until they became an official band. So I was there when they was going through basically the American Idol type auditions, and how cutthroat, and how, some people came in cocky like I am that person. And at the time, I did not see Ikaika. It wasn't until I think it was 10 of them. I think it got down to the last 10 or 12, if I'm not mistaken. It got down to like 10 or 12. And when they had to go and they moved into the house, like the final, and they were still auditioning, learning songs, learning dance moves and all that. And then when everybody got picked, I can't remember if we got the call in to say who should be picked or whatever. But I remember I was like, I hope Ikaika makes it. I love names. I do. I love weird words, even if I can't say them. I love them. I always tell Gary, "Oh, I'm collecting a word." Anyways, that's me. I have a little collection of words that I like. But I was hoping that Ikaika made it, and he did. It was Ashley Parker Angel. It was Eric. I don't remember Eric's last name. It was Ikaika. Oh crap! Who was that other guy? But I can't remember. So they were like the 5 like main people, and I was so excited. And they were still making, doing like starting to like write music, starting to record and all that, and learning the dances. And then Ikaika's wife was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come on back home. We got bills and kids. I can't wait. Like the bills, us raising our kids, that can't wait till you become famous because it's instant. It's like right now." So he then brought everybody together. He let them know, "I'm sorry. I gotta go home. The bills are piling up and I gotta help take care of the kids." Not that that was a bad thing, but he literally was in the top 5. So he left. He went back to Hawaii. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was so mad at his wife. But as an adult, I totally understand. It's like that meme when somebody is, picking the wall and they're trying to get to the diamonds. And then they get up and they give up and they leave. But if it was just that one more little hit, you would have got to the diamonds. But you gave up before that last hit. Bisk, what are you doing? What are you even in? Where'd you find the box? Let's look at Biscuit. Bisk. Bisk. Where'd you find the box? Where'd you find the box at? Oh, now you're going to move. And why'd you Bisk, go take the coat back in her room. Biscuit. Not in Savannah's room. In Hannah's room. That's Hannah's jacket. Guys. It be the... Did you see that laying in the hallway? He done pulled out. I tell you, Biscuit, he is something else. I don't know where he found that box. But he found the box. And he was wallowing in the box. And then he done took, because they like the girl's poofy jacket. And they like laying on it. So the girls put it up under their bed. So if the babies want to go lay on it, they can lay on it up under the bed. And I know it was him. Because Ori will attack it and leave it alone. But he likes to pull things around. He done pulled it out her room. Bisk. Anyways. But yeah, so as an adult, I understand. At that time, I didn't understand. Because I'm like, you're right there. You made it. Basically, you made it. Y'all were in the stage where y'all were learning the dances, y'all were writing your music, you're singing and recording. Why did you leave right at the end of the finish line? But as an adult, I understand, because bills and children doesn't wait. They need it. Your kids are not going to stop getting older. They're not going to start needing things. They're not going to stop growing and learning and developing just because you might be becoming famous. Your career is about to take off. But the bills is like, that's cute, that's nice, but also final notice. But yeah, so as an adult, I understand. As a very emotional teen, I did not understand. But as an adult, I do understand. But Ikaika was still my favorite. He still is my favorite. But that's just because I like his name. I love his name. I named my teddy bear. And I named her Ikaika Lamaika. Now the Lamaika part came from, I had a friend, and her daughter's middle name was Lachey. I think that's what it was, Lachey. And I used to call, nope, I think that was her daughter's first name. Nope, that was not her first name. I think that was her middle name. No, you know what? Her middle name did start with me. Her first name did start with an L, but it wasn't Lachey. But anyways, and so when her daughter used to come and visit, I wanted to play with her daughter so much, but that was her visitation, and I'm so glad that she was able to keep visitation for her daughter. And I wonder what Monkster's doing. I need to look her up. I do. I miss Monkster. That's of course not her real name. And the baby's name was Monkster. But I met Monkster. See, I was 17 and I think she was 15. Yeah, at the time. And we became friends. But I was like 17 and she was 15. I honestly cannot tell you what happened that I literally became a freaking teen pregnancy magnet. And I think I was 16, yeah. And it was this one girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she hated me. For what reason? I have no idea. It was like she hated me. And I'm like, I don't understand why she hates me. I never said anything to her, never did anything to her. And she always wanted to beat me up. And at that time, my elementary school, or our elementary school, was walking distance. So I used to walk to school every day, and she did too, but I would walk early enough to where where I didn't never run into her. But yeah, she wanted to beat me up. And I was like in 5th grade, and I guess she was in 4th, I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what it would have to be. It would have to be in 4th grade because she was a year younger than me, like year in school, younger than me. And I remember when she got pregnant, she was 14 and the dad was 13. And it was like, as soon as she got pregnant, we became, in my eyes, and everything that I'm saying is from my point of view, we became best friends. It was like to the point that I used to, her whole pregnancy, because like when, like we had one class together and we used to sit with each other every day. I used to go and hang out with her like most every day. After school, like I don't know what changed. Well, I mean, the only thing that changed was she was pregnant. But before pregnancy, she hated me. And I don't know why. Like I said, never did anything to her. And then after she had her baby, we were still friends. And then, like, it was, like, I was there when her sister had to go to the hospital. And, like, when her sister came back, sad. Her sister, so my friend was pregnant with a little girl. And her sister was also pregnant with a little girl. And she went to the hospital and the baby didn't make it. Something like a freak thing happened. So her sister lost her baby while she was still pregnant. Her sister was older than her by like 2 years. Because like I think her sister was like a year older than me. Or maybe a year or 2 older than me. And yeah, so it was like her sister literally was like, I'm the older sister. I'm the one that should be having the baby, not my baby sister. But so her sister lost her baby and we cried. And of course, that, that was her niece. But I was like close enough to where I cried because I'm like, that was so sad because it was like, I remember it was like maybe 2 days before her sister went to the hospital. Like, she was like, look. She's like, look, Granny, the baby is moving. And we were all like, oh my gosh. And, at that time, my friend, her baby was starting to move. And so, like, I got to feel her sister's baby and I got to feel my friend's baby, and both of them moving. And like, it was like, yeah, we're both having girls and all that. And then that happened. So that was very, very sad. But it was another girl that she didn't like me. And I don't know why. And I even asked her later, like, what was it about me that you didn't like? And she's like, I had no idea. But when she got pregnant, it was like we became really good. And okay, so when she got pregnant, it was my friend and then the other girl. And then there was like one more girl that was pregnant, but she wasn't in our friend group. But it was like them 3 people was like the 3 people that's like, I want to freaking bust your head in with a bat. The other girl, like the third girl, we never became friends because soon as her mama found out she was pregnant, they went on and moved. And then like when I found out who her baby daddy was, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, so I don't know. I was like a baby magnet. And I think, no, because I was going to say, I think my sister was pregnant, but she wasn't. She just had baby man number 2, kinda. Yeah, she would have gave birth to baby man number 2. Before my friend had, yeah, okay, so, I don't know. Lord, you have to slap my leg again. What else? Oh, yeah, in the group home, that's why I could remember 9/11 is because it was a girl and her name, well, I was about to say her name. I don't have permission of these people, but she was pregnant. She was 15 and she was pregnant. And she was walking around because the baby was pressing on her pelvis. So she, she got to get up and walk around. And independent or pregnant girls, I was going to say independent living, they were in the same building at that time. Now they're in separate buildings. But, she was in a different classroom and they got to listen to the radio. In my classroom, we didn't get to listen to the radio, but we can hear it if you don't. If it was like really quiet, because it was like literally the classroom right beside us. And when I say classroom, it was just a room. Anyways, wasn't a thick room. It was like our classrooms was maybe a room with 6 desks in it. If 6, maybe 5. So that's how big it was. It wasn't big at all. But I remember she came in and she's like, a plane crash. And we were like, what do you mean a plane crash? She goes, a plane crashed. And then the teacher stands up and she's like, wait, what's going on? And so she got up and she went to like the classroom beside us. Like I said, it was just a room. And she went over there, and of course we all get up and we, walk and, and walk to the other classroom. And and so that's when the other adult in that classroom was like, oh my gosh, and she was freaking out. And then she picked up her walkie-talkie, and my teacher, which was a staff member, like all the teachers there was staff members. They was at work. But they were like that, the other staff member picked up and was calling over to independent living and pregnant girls building to tell them, like, we need you to come walk over here to get the girls. And my teacher called over to my building in the upstairs building for them to come over and get us. And we were like freaking out because it was like, a plane has crashed in New York. We don't know what's happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? So I'm freaking out a little bit. They're freaking out because they don't know what's going on. They don't know how bad. They don't know what happened. All they know is the radio said that a plane crashed in New York. So then our staff members walk over, like mine. I was downstairs and they're upstairs. They came and got their kids and independent and pregnant girls. Their staff members came and got them. And we went back, and I remember we was in the TV room and we cut it on and we seen the building on fire. And we were like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? And so we're looking, and then all of a sudden, we seen the second plane hit, and they cut it off. So it wasn't until 2002 that I knew what happened. Because they immediately cut it off. They called all of our therapists, and they're like, they're going to need another therapy. And I'm like, I need to know what happened. What really happened? Like, we heard little bits and bobs, but I didn't know the full story. Like, what happened, how many planes, and all that until 2002. And that's because they didn't tell us anything about it. They didn't talk to us. They just immediately turned off the TV. And it's like, no, we don't need it. Da, 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 da. Like, people that were outside of the building, like outsiders that got to work and leave and all that, they knew about it. I just never left. And then when I did get a home pass, it literally slipped my mind. But yeah, so I didn't know the full story until September the 11th, 2002 is when I heard the full story. Because by that time, I was 18 and graduated high school and was about to graduate college September of 2002. So, because I graduated high school May the 18th, 2002, and then I graduated college October 2002. And I got introduced to The Sims, the first one. It was end of September 2002. It's when I got introduced to The Sims. And it was only because I watched Malcolm in the Middle, and they were playing a game. And I'm like, I want to play that game. I need to find that game. Found out it don't exist. It was a fake game. And I'm like, Malcolm, Frankie Muniz, ain't that his last name? I'm not thinking of a different Frankie. Well, whatever his name is. I'm like, you need to come on out with that game. Because I want to play that game. Because that game looked fun. But I remember when I went to, because I was in college, and I went to class and I was talking about, I seen this really cool game on Malcolm in the Middle last night, and I want to find that game. And the woman I was talking to was like, oh, I got this computer guy. I think he might know what you're talking about. So I went in, and it was Terry. And went in, and I was explaining to him, watch Malcolm in the Middle, and I would really like to play this game and all that. And so he's like, oh, you're talking about The Sims. And I'm like, is that the name of it? He goes, yeah, it wasn't. But I didn't know that he didn't know that. Because, like I said, I seen it on Malcolm in the Middle, and I described it to him. And like, outside looking in, I was describing The Sims. It's just they was not playing The Sims on the TV show. The game that they were playing on the TV show does not exist. Because I looked it up, and they were like, yeah, that was a fake game. And I'm like, well, that fake game needs to come and be a reality game. But yeah, so that's how I got into The Sims. It's because of Malcolm in the Middle. I was trying to find that specific game that they were playing. That's the game I wanted to play. And because I described it so closely like The Sims, that's how I started playing The Sims. I bought a computer from him, and he gave me The Sims 1, so the base game. He gave me Hot Date, and I want to say Unleash. He gave me that free. Like, he gave me the game, because at the time I had CDs. So he gave me The Sims base game, Hot Date, and Unleashed. She gave me them 4 things, or 3 things, for free. And then I bought Vacation and like the rest of them. Not Hot Date, Vacation, Making Magic, Superstar, like all that. So every game after, like every expansion after Unleashed, because I think Unleashed came out before Vacation. But like I bought the rest. And then when Sims 2 came out, I bought all them games myself. And then I stopped playing because my computer wouldn't even run my game anymore. So I stopped playing it. And then around that time is when Sims 3 came out, and it was around the time that the girls was born. So I didn't play until, or I didn't get back into Sims, because like I did Sims 2, but I didn't get back into the Sims until like the girls were almost 2, they were like 2.5, 3, and so then by that time, one of my family members was like, she was selling her Sims 3 base game, and then she had like 2 Sim 3 games, and then she was selling base game Sims 4. So I downloaded Sims 3 and the 2 expansion games, and then the Sims 4. And I opened Sims 3 and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Open up Sims 4 and it was like, okay, so I'm not even going to play Sims 3. I'm going straight to Sims 4. So I never got to play all the games of Sims 3 because I just never got back into it. Then when I did get back into the Sims, I immediately just hopped over in Sims 4. And I had every expansion pack up to the SpongeBob, or every pack up to SpongeBob. But that's because my computer broke. My laptop broke. And here we are today. Still no laptop, which I need. I need it for therapy. If anybody's listening to this, do y'all know any organizations that would give me a laptop for therapeutic reasons? And I know it don't sound like it's therapeutic. I bought Life and Death not to have it, to play with it. I bought it because my mama got killed August of 24. Life and Death came out October of 24. And I felt like that was like a little nudge to me. I felt like she know I needed that pack, because I did not get to give her a Frunier. And because I didn't get to give her one, and like still to this day, it bothers me that I never got to give her a Frunier. My sister wanted to do cremation, and I fought all the way up. Like I fought and I tried. I was trying my hardest to give her burial and not cremate. But then it was like to the point that I was like, they were like, okay, well, we need to figure something out by this date. And I was like, I don't understand why. Like, outside looking in, I understand why my sister was like, let's just cremate. I was coming at it from the point that I don't want that to be the first decision. I want us and I'm talking about like me and her, to do everything in our power to, give her a funeral and like bury her. That's what I wanted to do. And my sister fought me because like literally when they told us it was like 11. And by 1 o'clock she made a decision. So it was like 11 p.m. when they told us. 1 o'clock in the morning she already had a decision of cremating. And I was just like, we are literally leaving the hospital and you made that decision. And so me wanting her to go talk to different places and us trying to do something to get money together, she fought me every step of the way. But like outside looking in, I understand that she was like, we're not gonna get to do it, so let's just put our head around it and let's just cremate her. But in the thick of it, I was like, no, I want to, like, if I have to go in debt to be able to do this is what I want. This is, like, I want to bury her. Like, because I already was feeling guilty that I wasn't going to get to bury her where she wanted to be buried. She wanted to go back up the highway, but she wanted to go and be buried where she was born, which is like 2 hours from here. And I knew that I was not going to get to bury her up the highway. So then I'm like, okay, I just buried. And I found this woman was selling a plot, like one of her plots and all that. And I had the money, but they were like, which they need to change that. If anybody is listening, you cannot, or I mean, you can, but it is so bad that I scraped together $150, and because I had $1, they were like, "Oh, you don't qualify for cremation because you have $1." Okay, like I scraped up the $150 to do the cremation and be able to bury her urn, and then they're like, "Nope, because you got $1." This is for people that absolutely has $0. So I end up putting $200 towards the cremation. My sister, I don't know how much she put up, but I gave the check straight to the man that was doing the cremation. And I was just like, I just want closure. I want to be able to see her before. And he was like, okay. Then when it was the day of the cremation, he's like, well, I don't think that you should see her. And I'm like, I need closure. Because like at that time, I was like, I'm not going to believe that it's real until I see her face. I was like, I need to. And they're like, believe me, you don't want to see her face. And I'm like, I need to. You don't understand. It's not me wanting to. I need to. Because my brain was like, you haven't seen her, so she's still alive. She's not dead. And then as soon as I seen her, because he was just like, because of how she looked, that it will cause me to have nightmares. And he's like, I don't want to be sued. I'm like, I will sign whatever paper you want to tell you I will not sue you. I just need to see her face. I need the closure. And then, like before they cremated her, I got to see her and I got to get closure. I think it was like an hour later is when they cremated her. But, like, I needed that closure, even though I totally understand why they did not want me to see her. But I needed to, even if it was just one eyeball. I needed to see that one eyeball. I needed it because I was already at the point that it's not real because I haven't seen her. It's not real because I haven't seen her. Because that's from when the doctor told me. I was like, can we see her? They go, we already took her down to the morgue. And I'm just like, I need to see her. And so I was saying that every day. And I finally did get to see her before they cremated her. The girls didn't. And on one end, I wish that they could say goodbye, but I don't know if it would have caused them to have nightmares because, I mean, it was bad, but I needed it. They probably needed it, but my sister and that man made a decision that no, they don't need to see it. I totally understand. But I know how I was. And I don't know how they was. But yeah, so. I was okay with them seeing her. But I was also okay with them not because of how bad it was. But yeah, so that was like, started out with Ikaika. Is that where I started from? I don't even know why I started.